We have ourselves some breaking news in the NHL. We have yet another trade, this one between Chicago and Seattle. We'll jump into the details coming up next. Welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. We have some more breaking news here on Saturday morning. We have another trade, this time between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Seattle Kraken. Of course, this is not the first move for the Kraken. They continue to be busy here and try to retool this roster, but we have a trade involving Andre Burakovsky going from Seattle to Chicago in exchange for Joe Veleno. Now, this is a situation I think might help both clubs. Joe Veleno was acquired from Detroit to Chicago last year, later in the season. I'm not really sure that they seen him as a long-term fit. He's been struggling with his consistency. Veleno signed for next year at $2.2 million. A player that's had a lot of promise, a lot of potential. One of the few players to get exceptional status to play in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League as a 15-year-old. Played close to me here at the St. John Sea Dogs. Player I've seen a lot throughout his prime years leading up to his draft. Obviously, at one point, probably 2 or 3 years before his draft, he was thought of as being a player who would be in the conversation to be a first overall pick. Obviously, didn't quite live up to that standard in junior. Was a good player, mind you, but not to that level. And then ended up dropping. I can't remember his exact spot that he went to the Red Wings, but he was like very late first round, like 30th or something like that overall. So, things have kind of fell down. Then he put in some time in the minors. He's had an opportunity in Detroit. Be a good kid. Everybody really likes this guy, rooting for him, but he's just struggled to find his consistency. So hopefully with a young group that they're starting to build around in Seattle, he'll be able to find his game on a more consistent basis. The Blackhawks get Andre Burakovsky. He's got 2 more years at $5.5 million. 30 years old, a player who could probably also benefit from a change of scenery. The Seattle Kraken hasn't been a great fit for him, in my opinion. He put up 37 points last year. He was a player that has multiple Stanley Cups on his resume. He won with the Washington Capitals, and he won with the Colorado Avalanche. Great piece there. He's never really been a huge point producer. A guy that's kind of hovered around that 20-goal mark a bunch of times. Can play in the middle of your lineup. So to me, he's a player that goes to Chicago. We know that they've typically had a few veterans that might be a little bit overpaid. I think this might be part of that. They have lots of cap space, trying to insulate those young kids with some good veterans. He's like I said, he's a guy who's won multiple cups. He can play in the middle of your lineup. He can be productive, and maybe getting a better spot in the lineup with some of these younger players might be good for him. So it's kind of a fresh start for both players type of trade. Obviously, the Blackhawks go up more in cap because they take on 5.5. They trade out 2.2. Joe Veleno, another young centerman that the Kraken had to their mix. I don't know if he'll be a center with their organization or not. Obviously, they've got Matty Beniers. They've got Shane Wright. You've got Berkeley Catton coming. You've got Veleno and others, too, in the organization. I mean, they've already had players like Jared McCann, who can play center, has been moved to the wing. And McCann's another player to watch in Seattle too. There's some speculation he also could be moved, so we'll see about that. Obviously, the Kraken have not had the success they were hoping for ever since making the playoffs in the second year of their franchise's existence. They've been downhill the past couple of years, and it's time to kind of retool that roster. I think move on some of the veterans for fresh starts and try to bring in some more youth that they can build around, and that's exactly what this trade is. I know Chicago's probably not going to love the Burakovsky contract, but if you look at some of the other deals they've given the veterans there in the past couple of years with, lots of cap space, this one's really in line with that and not so bad. Like, he's got a history of being, semi-productive. Like I said, he got the cups to his name. He's not that old. I think he can be a decent player for them, and I hope Veleno can go out to Seattle and get rejuvenated and have a chance to find some consistency with his game. The Blackhawks have accumulated a lot of young talent there as well, and it was pretty clear to me when Veleno arrived at the Blackhawks that I'm just not sure he's going to stack up, against all the other forwards that they have in their system. Like, they're going to surpass him quickly. So I was like, I wasn't sure that was a great fit. I think it was just more of an experiment to see. Didn't go the greatest, so they move him along. So anyways, not a huge trade, but a good one that could impact both franchises. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll discuss further down in the comments. There could be more deals later today. Stay tuned. Lots of content coming either way. I know it's the weekend. We're a week away. There will be some content coming this weekend around the 2025 NHL draft, so stay tuned for that. And of course, all the other news and rumors around the league. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.